Hey guys, let me know if you can see something. I just barely posted the link, so I'm gonna give you like a minute or so to check it out. I'm using a little stabilizer so it looks a little less jittery, but this is my darkroom. Also, I'm got 15% worth of battery. That was not very good planned. But yeah, this is the studio space. Um, this is kind of like a little sitting room area that I built, and got my shelves full of stuff. Got a little sofa there. You can see. Whoop, the other way around. Then got some film fridge here, which is stocked with a bit of everything. Digital lab, and then we go into the dark room. Darkroom. Today I'm printing some of the Kickstarter rewards. So I start from left to right. So this is basically developer stop. I use the red as stop bath because it just helps me. White as pure developer, white paper, white tray, stop bath, and then fixer, kind of like gray finished. And then I always have a big tray for pre-washing prints. This was washed while I went for lunch. So that was one contact print I did of this picture on 8x10. And then I've got my final stage, which is the print washer, which is here right now off. But if I turn it on, you can hear it. Open the water, and you can see the bubbles. But due to the noise, I'll keep that off for now. Yeah, my Jobo here, which is not being used today, because I usually only print or develop film at once. So either print or develop paper all in one shot. Let me see if I can open the chat, because all chat, yeah. If someone's there, let me know if you're writing so I can see. There you go. How is there? Thanks. This is my Enlarger. This is the one I use mainly. It's a Devere 5108. I have the filter little cheat sheet here, so I know what grade I'm using for black and white. Right now it's set up for contact prints. As you can see, I have a bit of glass, the negative there, and I have the timer here. It's an RH stop clock, one of those F stoppers, so it works really well. And this here is not mine. This is my partner here in the darkroom, Laborator 1200 from Durst, and the Kaiser 6x9 Enlarger. But yeah, this is basically the darkroom. After I'm using it, and I've already washed the prints for an hour, what I do is I come here and I set them to dry in this little printing rack. You can already see the previous shots. These are all the Kickstarter rewards. So there's 15 shots of me and Max being dried, fiber-based prints. So that's why there's that little curl, as you can see. It'll get way more curly by the time they finish drying. But yeah, what I do is I basically print all the ones I'm going to do. So this time it's being 15 shots every time. So I put them in this pre-wash. And I've learned that this pre-wash is just as important as washing for the whole hour. So I leave them here as long as it's necessary. And then when I'm done with that shot, I will put it on the archivable print washer and put a timer for an hour. So I have that washing while I keep on printing, and this keeps on filling up again. So for example, this print, I won't do many because this is just a family shot. That's not important for the Kickstarter reward, not going to go in a store or anything like that. So this, I'll maybe do 4 or 5 prints and that's it. And then I'll push them to that big archival wash. Then behind me, yeah, this is only for Patreons. How? The live stream is unlisted on YouTube. I figure you show this for Patreon only. I'll take a while to see. Yeah. This is going to take a while for the Patreons. I know there's not everyone's there. But honestly, considering the support you guys give me on Patreon and that I haven't really had the time to put the architecture videos ready, I am going to send the prints. But the architecture is taking me a little longer, so I decided I could do a little show of this. I'll put it on YouTube a little later on. But for now, you get exclusive first hands. For example, this is the messy table. This is where I have usually, for example, 8x10 film holders ready to develop or ready to reload. Have some 35 film there, have some color film in the back, reels, boxes, some paper for the smaller prints, 8x10 film and stuff, 11x14 negatives, some negatives that I haven't had time to classify, some 8x10s here, notes so I keep track of how many prints I've done and what the exposure and filtering is, Fomapan because I was going to load that before I went to lunch, and here is some 8x10s that I developed from the other day. So these are dry, but I haven't had the time to just take them out of there, so I just closed it for now. But yeah, this is basically my setup in my little darkroom. I consider this to be little. I know a lot of people might think this is huge, but considering what people have there, it's pretty crazy. If you look to the top, you can see one vent up here and a second vent up here. These just take the air out to the room, to the main room. And later on, I'm going to install, sorry for the dizziness, a proper vent there. I have a proper hole that takes everything out. And I'm going to make a good exhaust system there. Just haven't been there. Money's still not ready. So far, the same thing with the red lights. They're still kind of like provisional. You can see here, just kind of hanging there. And this one I just plugged today, which gave me a little extra light, which is nice. And this one here is also still kind of provisional. The idea is to put those Highland safe lights, but those are 200 euros each. So I'm saving for that later on. Same thing here. You can see the plug up here is ready, waiting for the proper exhaust to push air out. Sliding door and all that stuff is here. Well, let me see if I can do this a little differently. Sliding door here, so that gets dark. How says you wash the print twice. It's not that I wash it twice. What happens is when I put it, let me see, wrong way. When it comes out of the fixer, if I put it directly into this wash, I have to start an hour from the last print I put. So I put it in this bath with a bit of running water. I mean, and a bit is just a little tiny bit of water. And when that is being here and I'm changing prints and I know I'm done for now, I'm going to start doing test prints again and, taking my time, doing all of that. I put all these in here, start washing and count for an hour, and everything else sits here till I'm done. So when that's done, I take it out and I put these in here. So it's kind of like 2 washes, but if I don't do that, I've seen silver sediments on the bottom of the print, whatever it's going to be on the lowest part, like the gravity pushed it all down, and I don't like that, so I pre-wash for like around 5 minutes to whatever amount of time it takes for that there. But let me see, what else did you ask? How? Okay, proper vent will help a lot. My fan in the bathroom is not very good when working 4 to 5 hours or more. My what I would say is best when you can is open the room. Like if you really don't need the dark, like right now we don't need the dark, leave it open. Have maybe, like what I do is here in the darkroom, I go out here and I open the window here. So unless it's extremely windy, you see, this is my darkroom view. And we have a super important Burger King back there. You can barely see the sign there. I open that window and I leave it open, so whenever I'm in the dark room and I don't need the dark, door is open and there's air flowing. Plus, as I said, I turn on these vents, which even though they're not extremely strong, they're 2 bathroom vents and they help a lot. You can notice that. Also, usually running, and I don't have it running right now, is a dehumidifier that keeps the humidity out of here. So the whole darkroom is dry, prints dry faster, film dries faster and such. Yeah, it's a pretty beautiful place out here, especially during spring. As you saw, trees are starting, well, you can't see, it's way too much light out there, but the trees are starting to come out. Um, and then here is where I scan my stuff. And I have an old iMac, which is not mine, V700, another V700, a cool scan 5000 or something like that. And then just bits and ends that I leave here as decoration. But I need to finish this. I want to put prints on the walls, maybe some big prints. I bought some 20 by 24 paper, but it still hasn't come. As soon as it comes, I'll be printing some big shots. Also for the architecture, I bought some T-Max 100 and stuff like that. And then on the bottom here, you probably can't see much, but we have all the Jobo tanks that I use, which might look like too many, but I actually use them all. That's a CPP3, brand new, with the lift. So I use that for color printing and color developing. And I use this ATL 2200 for my black and white developing only. So it's water, developer, stop, fixer. And then these two usually are empty. But yeah, it's telling me I got low battery, so I don't know how we're doing. 8% battery, we're doing good. So yeah, this is basically my darkroom. I have a little cheat sheet here for my partner because he's really forgetful. I have the DX coating here, which sometimes is useful. I need to put some more stuff around and shelving and stuff like that, but I just kind of wanted to start using the darkroom. The sooner the better. Let me see if we can get like a good perspective of how big it is. The sink is basically just as big as the whole darkroom. And that is because, as you can see with this whole tray layout, it takes a lot of space. So developer, stop, fixer, first wash, archivable washer, and then my negative dryer and stuff. Lab coat and whatnot. Let me turn that off. It makes a lot of noise. But yeah, this is the darkroom. If you have any questions, let me know. I've been doing just contact prints for today. I will be doing some enlargements from 645 from the Kickstarter. I shot some. Let me see if I can show you guys. I shot some 8x10s. So these are 8x10s. This is the one I printed today. That's Max and me from Intrepid. This one was developed and printed the other day, so these are actually out here. I'll show you now. This is the test print from my wife and my kids. Then I still have the Max and the team from Intrepid here, waiting to get printed. I'll print that right now. This one is the first Intrepid, the one that started it all, and the prints, I did them, and I really don't like them, so I'm going to redo them. Sad part is I did 15 fiber-based prints, and they're all trash. And then I've got, that's an empty one. Then I have 2 4x5s that are from the Intrepid, the ones on the top of this sheet. And then we have these, which are from my friend that came on the trip, which are 645s. So these will get enlarged to whatever size you guys wanted for the rewards. And these are some Noblets shots that I think I didn't include in the Kickstarter because they were not anything to do with the Intrepid factory. It was just kind of breaking around. Same as these. These are 645s and are also included. So yeah, that's basically what I got to print. House says, do you usually make dodge and burn tools for each negative or just general ones in your hands? So far, I've only used my hands and some very small dodging and burning if it's very necessary. Look, these are the prints from I was showing you before. As you can see, the camera stacked together. These are done, ready to be flattened by this hot press. And this one, as you can see, it's really dull, so it needs contrast. It looks way too muddy, so this one's gonna get reprinted. But when you're contact printing, and that's something I've noticed a few times already, the good thing about contact prints is there's so much detail as you're not enlarging the negative, and all this film hasn't been pushed or anything like that, developed normal. There's so much tonal range that you really don't need to burn and dodge a lot. So mainly I don't burn and dodge much or anything at all when I'm doing contact prints. And then when I want to enlarge something and it comes from a smaller negative or it's pushed and stuff, I dodge and print burn with my own hands. So yeah, that's what I do most of the time. But yeah, I'm about to run out of battery on my phone, so I'm gonna see if I just charge my phone. If you have any other questions, you can leave a comment on the YouTube video. You can leave a comment on the Patreon post. I will leave this on Patreon for maybe a few days and then put it on the main channel. So maybe people will see that there's some stuff going on Patreon and want to join us there. But so far, this is my darkroom. As I said, very simple setup. Even though I built this whole thing, it's a very simple darkroom. Wet side on one side, dry side on the other side, and loading and miss bits and parts over here. So yeah, hope you enjoyed it. I will be doing these every now and then. I'm gonna get some internet connection at the lab so it won't be 4G and choppy footage, but proper one. Let me know how it looks on your side, because I'm totally relying on the network for now. And yeah, maybe I'll show you the studio next time, and maybe during a photo shoot or something like that when I'm prepping. I will be doing some for 8x10 shots of portraits that I'm doing. Those are actually over here because I scanned them the other day and I put some on Instagram and stuff. But I'm going to continue with this. It all is going to be part of a shooting 24 hours. I want to shoot 100 portraits on 8x10. I've ordered the film, so 250 sheets of film are coming. And why 250 sheets? It's because I'm going to shoot 2 shots per person, and there's going to be 50 sheets just in case I screw up something. It's always something happens when you're shooting large format. So 250 sheets of Fomapan, 100 are coming. I'm ordering a field camera too. So I will be getting some news up there as soon as I receive it, and I'll share with you guys probably first. I have a little website that I kind of did just to put it together, but it's still not done. And as soon as it's done, I'll share it with you guys. But yeah, thanks for joining. Thanks for the questions. And for everyone else joining later, remember you can ask anything you want. Okay? Thank you. Bye. Let me see how I stop this. There you go.